Hey guys, Daniel Alexander here. So this is going to be my first video and hopefully a series of videos, just kind of going over different experiments and different projects that I've worked on. And so this right here is a demonstration of my HHO setup, right, or electrolysis setup. And this video is just going to kind of be a quick demonstration, and then in other videos I'll go more in depth and I can tell you kind of how I built each component, and maybe I'll make some do-it-yourself videos or something like that. But this is just a fun little setup that I like playing with. It's, you know, there's something about creating a flame with HHO, which is hydrogen and oxygen in their electrically expanded form. There's something about that that is very satisfying, and I imagine it's that same kind of feeling, you know, perhaps when you first build a fire, or when you first create electricity, or anything along those lines. It's a very unique experience, and I just will say in this video that the combustion of hydrogen, of HHO, is a very unique combustion, and there's a lot of characteristics that I think are underappreciated in our kind of general mainstream scientific community, and it's something that definitely needs further research, and I'll of course be doing my own research here. But anyways, enough talking. We'll talk more in other videos. I just want to give you guys a demonstration. So this is my little micro torch for like working with jewelry and things like that. And so that is the hydrogen flame, all right, that's coming out of my system here. And just so you kind of get an idea, there's my power supply, and that's putting out a DC voltage that is going through my electrolysis cell, which is this PVC pipe here, and there's 8 concentric stainless steel rings inside of that tube. And so the electrolysis is happening between those rings. So right now the innermost point is I believe, the innermost point is the anode, and the outside is the cathode. So it's sort of, the hydrogen would be produced along the outer ring, I believe. I could be wrong. And so then that gas is coming out of there and going into this guy, which is just my bubbler. That makes sure that any residual chemicals or moisture is picked up in there, because I am just using tap water, so there would be potentially like chlorine gases, maybe some fluoride gas depending on where you are, things like that. And so it's just tap water with a little bit of potassium hydroxide, which is in essence, it's like lye, it's like sodium hydroxide, very similar chemical. It has a very high pH, and allows, it's in essence a electrolyte to allow for the electrolysis process. And so I didn't put very much in there, because if you put too much, it lowers the efficiency of the process. So there's some of that in there, but something I have to say, now that I said that, pointed that out, is the potassium hydroxide isn't actually coming out or depleting as part of the reaction. So the potassium hydroxide stays in the solution, and all that's coming out of here is water. And so this flame right here is pure H2O, right? Pure hydrogen and oxygen. And so it's a very hot flame. This would in essence be, very similar to the flames occurring at our sun. And so you can just see, this is just a piece of wood, and you can kind of see, it is very cold in my my garage. So usually it actually combusts a lot faster, but it is a hot flame, but it's only hot at the point of that flame, because in essence, it's water again. So like, there's just very unique aspects to it that I really feel need further research. So I can use this copper pipe. It's very cold, and so it'll kind of pick up the condensation. Let me see if you can see that. But if I run the flame, you can see the water condensing on the pipe. And I could keep that flame there for a long time, and the pipe would turn red hot. You know, and I could potentially cut it. It would take a pretty long time though, because this is just a very minimal amount of. Oops, sorry, I'm out of the camera. Minimal amount of HHO, or hydrogen gas. So I think you can see there's some water condensing on there. So it's very cool. It's a very unique thing. This is very different than, you know, any other torch that would be, you know, using you know, a carbon, in essence burning a carbon solution. Instead, this is just hydrogen combusting with oxygen. And so again, this is a implosive flame rather than an explosive flame, meaning that it's going from a gas into a liquid instead of a liquid into a gas, which is what we're most accustomed to. So I think I'll leave it at that. I thought this was going to be a short video, but it got pretty long pretty quick. And until next time, peace, you guys.